Well, I just want to tell you it's an honor to be here with you today. I certainly appreciate Blake and Scott and the great MEC team and the wonderful job that they do. I appreciate the invitation to be here as always. It means so much. I want to take a moment first and talk about, I'm wearing pink. Pink is important. October is a big month. It's breast cancer awareness. I know that many of us, Cindy and I had just talking about it, many of us have friends and family who've been touched by breast cancer. And it's some very tough and some very challenging times, and it's a pretty horrific disease. But with prayer and research, we're seeing survivors, we're seeing hope, and we hope to have that disease eradicated. So I hope you will take a moment and think about those breast cancer survivors, the ones that are going through it right now, and the future that lies ahead for those individuals. MEC has been so wonderful to work with. You know, that organization is out there strengthening our economy every day. I've been so proud to work with Blake, Scott, the team for the last several years. But I want to talk further about our economy. You know, we've done a lot of hard work here in the state of Mississippi. You know, we've worked on creating jobs. We've worked on strengthening our economy. But I'm here to tell you folks, there are turbulent times in our country. We have some very tough issues that we're facing every day in our country. You know, people are frustrated with Washington, D.C. and that political governance, or lack thereof. You know, if you think about it, we're so frustrated because they've been charged to go up there and govern on our behalf. And what are we hearing? The same old story. They're not governing responsibly, but they're continuing to talk about more debt, more spending, and absolutely no solutions. That is frustrating for us. But I'm here to tell you there's a stark contrast between Washington, D.C. and the state of Mississippi. Where you're getting no results in D.C., you're getting great positive results right here in the state of Mississippi. And as your treasurer, I'm proud to talk about the accomplishments that we've had in the last 4 years in my office. I have a fantastic team, and we've worked very hard to deliver results to all Mississippians. You know, we've saved the taxpayers, every one of us in this room, over $69 million. And that's just been by managing proactively our state debt. That's a tremendous number that the legislature now doesn't have to appropriate. We've also returned over $41 million to the rightful owners of unclaimed property. And we'll continue to do that because it belongs to you and it's a driver of our economy. We've implemented reforms to the impact program, and that's important because that program needs to be cost neutral to the taxpayers, and it needs to be sound, physically and financially sound. And so we put in those reforms and those regulations. But here's what else we've done. We've expanded our college savings programs, our 529 plans. And a lot of that's been done because we have worked with many businesses, many of you here today, about payroll deduction to provide that alternative for people to save for college for their children and for their grandchildren. You know, did you know that middle-class Americans, the largest savings tool that they have to save for college are the college 529 plans. So that makes it even more critical that we have those plans available for you to save, and certainly through payroll deductions if you choose to with your members of your teams. But we're also very dedicated to continuing that education process on savings and financial education. Worked very hard to get tools into the schools so that they can teach our young people about financial education, so that they can learn the importance of managing their dollars. Because certainly if they're better stewards of their dollars, they're going to be a better citizen of the state of Mississippi, and they're going to be a better individual in all that they do, whether they're an entrepreneur or whether they work for a company. So we created TEAM last year. Many of you have heard me talk about TEAM. It's been a great partnership. But TEAM is Treasurer's Education About Money. It's an initiative to have the discussion on financial education to our young people. We've got great partners. Mississippi Council on Economic Education. They're leading the way on teaching our teachers because teachers provide a critical circle of influence. And they've worked very diligently to train our teachers. And we have many other partners, because it takes partners to get this information and these tools to our schools. So I appreciate those of you who have participated, and I hope that many more of you will join on and be a partner in our team effort. But let me give you the great results from our inaugural year. These are very impressive, and they're very exciting. We've been able to reach over 19,000 students. 19,000. And able to offer 67,000 hours of instruction to these young people. 230 active schools are providing financial education in their schools. And over 500 teachers have been trained by Mississippi Council on Economic Education. I'm here to tell you those are remarkable numbers. And it's important that we continue to change the financial culture of our state, because it ultimately affects the economy and all that we do. You know, I'm in public service to move Mississippi forward. My heart calls me to do this. I believe in what I'm doing, and I feel very blessed and very humbled to serve in this position. And I'm proud to serve on a team that understands that it's important to govern responsibly, that it's important to govern effectively. So I'm very, very fortunate that I work with these other team members. But what are we doing in our state that's so different and so important? Well, we're balancing the budget. We're working to have fair and reasonable regulations. We're working every day to make Mississippi businesses want to invest and grow and be a part of Mississippi. We're maintaining a healthy legal climate, because we need to continue to have a climate that's free of frivolous lawsuits. That's a huge growth factor for our economy. And we're demanding accountability from the people that teach our children and educate our children. And why is that so important? Because a strong economy requires a strong and educated workforce. We're looking at our infrastructure. And how do we improve our infrastructure without wasting taxpayers' dollars? Again, part of how we drive our economy. We also are looking at how do we maintain and have safe communities. We want our families to feel comfortable in their communities, and we certainly want everyone to enjoy the quality of life that they should be afforded in this great state of Mississippi. You know, we owe our children and our grandchildren this responsibility. All these different factors come into compilation because we owe this to them. Because you know what? They're going to be the next people that sit at these tables at Hobnob or stand around and hobnob with other business leaders. So we owe that to them. Now here's something, if you don't hear anything, think about this. The younger generation that we have is about a third of our population. That's the reality. But the hardcore reality is they're 100% of our future. So hear me on that. Our young people are 100% of our future, and we've got to get them ready to be the next workforce and to be prepared for our economy. You know, I've talked about a lot of principles, and you know, folks, they're not complicated, but yet they're very effective, and they're easy to drive. And if you look around at other states who have very strong economies, guess what they have? They have sound fiscal policies. They have low taxes. They have limited government. And they have a very strong and prepared workforce. Now, we've made many, many positive strides in the state of Mississippi. Yet there are more to be accomplished. And I know we'll be able to do that. Because Mississippi is on the move. Our economy is moving. And that's thanks to the hardworking people of the state of Mississippi, and certainly to a government that is truly dedicated to a strong economy. I thank you each for being here. I thank you for supporting this organization. Thank you for being our leaders of today and for the future. Thank you, and may God bless you.